Hello my beautiful lights, and welcome back to the channel. So the 1555 vibration has been in the field now for a couple of weeks, and yet it's still showing within our field. So I needed to dig deeper. Now what's happening is it wants me to deliver this message because the dismantling of the micro identity that you didn't realize you were still carrying is still there, and it's something tiny but old. It's like a belief, a reflex, a vibration, and it's still attached to outdated timelines or versions of you. Now, the 1555 is a vibration. It's a crowbar that breaks you loose from the old frequency. It's not emotional. It's not dramatic. It's precise. Now, you've outgrown a layer you didn't even realize was still present. So this is sort of a purge. Now, because we saw it as a Trinity frequency, it was for 3 days consistently. What it's saying is number 1 is the awareness. Number 2 is the resistance, and number 3 is the breakthrough. So the 1555 one says the door is unlocked, push it fully open. Not wait, not observe, not interpret it, just act. Something in your field wants a decisive decision. It's a vibrational yes to the next chapter. So if you want to cast that into the universal energies now, and you know exactly what I'm speaking of, your soul will speak if you listen, then say yes. This is showing up in your energy right now because it's pre-Phoenix fire. It's the exact moment before the wings unfold. You know, you're not collapsing anything, you're transmuting something vibrationally. This is why you'll be feeling this beautiful calm, the quiet, the release of searching, the inevitability of your path sort of unfolding. It's the acceptance of your own power. Now, the angel said you're in the vibration of you've already passed the test, you're now stepping out of the room. So it's like an exit code, because I wanted to know why it was still coming into the field, and it was a continuous thing. So you've been waiting for a sign that you're ready. And if you've been waiting for that sign, what the angels are saying to you, my beautiful light, is you are ready. This message will speak to your soul if this is you. Now, your next step is going to feel lighter, cleaner and freer, more you, even if it's small or subtle. You know, the 1555 doesn't need a grand gesture. It needs decisive frequency and shift. So you can say these words with me now. Place your hands upon your heart and say, I release the old timeline fully now. And that is removing it from your vibrational field. And that's the acceptance of the shift. You know, you're no longer being pushed, you're being accelerated. This yes signals into the universe, you know, the move, ready, move her, go, move him, go, let's go. And it's that immediately 3 clicks into motion. Now the old timeline will collapse quietly. No chaos, no drama, no emotional release is required here. It's just this clean energetic snap, like we spoke about the other day, like a cord that is no longer needed. A tiny part of your identity, the last micro layer that has still tried to hold on to the old version, is now dissolving. And this is why it felt like the message was unfinished, and this is why it kept coming back into the field, because you hadn't said the word that concludes the code, and it was the finality of it. So this is the finality of the old frequency, and now we have the energy can shift, because words are spells, my beautiful lights. And the frequency of the phoenix then rises, and it's the moment the wings are unfurled. You know, it's subtle but powerful, and this clarity increases within your field. You know, urgency will fade away, flow simply returns, the guidance gets louder in your energetic field, and your body relaxes, which is ironic because you're used to the old vibration. So it's this beautiful peace within your soul, which then sharpens this intuitive knowing. Your intuition is sort of like lit like a candle, and it sort of releases this fire within. And the atmosphere around you clicks into that coherent state that we spoke of the other day. And it's saying you're stepping into this higher octave of your own field. So the 1555 code stops repeating once the activation lands. And this is why I needed to deliver this to the collective, because it was repeating, which meant the message wasn't complete. This is why I sit with them. But this had to go deeper. So the number no longer needs to repeat. You'll start seeing things like 111, 144. So your 111 is your alignment. The 144 is like the light worker architecture in your field. 1717, your divine path is unlocked. 1221, the mirror portal, and the 777. It's the reward and the completion, which we saw. This is how the universe confirms the transition has happened. So the message can land and the shift can happen. Hello, angels in my ears. And then what happens is the next gate will open. So your yes wasn't a response. It was the permission slip to accelerating your timeline. You feel this ease returning to your steps and knowing that something has shifted and it's soft and grounded. Now you might feel the 1555 shift, as we said it, in your lower chakras. What happens is the root activation. So the new timeline is safe. It's sort of grounding that frequency. The 1555 hits the root because it's dismantling the old survival script. So the sensation you'll feel is the old template, if I can put my teeth in, loosening its grip. So it isn't fear, it's release pressure. You know, your root is saying we are no longer choosing from the past. And then it sort of ignites the sacral ignition. I'm allowed to move forward, right? When the sacral stirs during a timeline shift, it feels like this warmth, this pulsation, this creative current, and a subtle trembling of your expansion is happening. This is your field absorbing the new directive, and it's your sacral saying, I can hold what's coming. Now, when the solar plexus gets into alignment, you're claiming your path. The 1555 always climbs upwards. After root, sacral, it will rise to your solar plexus next, and you'll feel this certainty, a click, a strength, or a sudden calm confidence, which is absolutely beautiful. And this is the moment your system is saying, I choose the timeline, not the other way round. So you feel it fast because the yes wasn't casual. It was an energetic consent. You didn't say yes to information. You said yes to the ignition. 1555 responds instantly to that. And the real significance of this is the lower chakra activation during the 1555 means the shift isn't conceptual, it's embodied. So you've not just received the guidance, you're becoming a new frequency. And this is why it hits the lower chakras, because the message has moved from in your awareness to in your physical reality, as we spoke of. First comes the energy, then comes the matter, and that's what's happening. So there you go, my beautiful lights. I'm interested, when we said that, when we cast that into the universe, what you felt and where you felt it on your body. You know, we direct the current and then the universe tells us exactly where. We've done other practices before where I've asked you where you felt it on your body. Now with this vibration, it's normally the lower chakras. If it's anything different, let me know, absolutely, because it's releasing the old program and there's something just echoing in the field. And I absolutely understand why, because we live in the 3D. So, you know, it's sort of a shadow that's cast into our 5D state of consciousness and above, isn't it? And it's the release of something small but significant, and it's letting go of the old paradigm, and it's what needed to happen. So if you struggled with it, then you found this message at exactly the right time. Change is coming, huge change, and it's a beautiful thing. So that's your message from the angels. Until next time, my beautiful lights. Bye bye for now.